Today I'm going to show you some easy editing tricks you can use in Apex to make your gaming clips look real clean and do some nice seamless transitions for your YouTube or your TikTok videos. What I'm going to show you is very easy for you to pick up, and the best part is you don't need any editing experience or any expensive software either. What you really just need is your clip, a video editor, and some very simple tricks that can make your video look amazing. And by the way, this can work with any shooter game, but today we're using Apex Legends, so let's just get right into it. So when you're trying to take two clips and put them together for a montage or a highlight video, you always want to try to make it so you go from one clip to the next in a way that makes sense, so when you're looking at them it doesn't break the flow of the whole video. So let's say I have two clips I want to put together where I'm using the wingman, for example. I want to find two parts in the clips where I can cut them both so that I can transition from one clip to the next without it being so jarring for the viewer. So if the first clip ends with me knocking an opponent and the next clip starts with me running, it's gonna look pretty weird. So the way you want to do a seamless transition between the two clips is you want to start off by finding a reference point. A reference point is just something that both clips have in common, and that's where you're going to do the split. So in a game where the entire environment is always changing, it's kind of hard to find that, but the one part that always stays the same is your gun in this case. So if I'm doing a wingman montage, what I like to do here is I go from one clip to the next using the gun's reload animation. So at the very middle of my reload animation with the wingman is where I'm going to go from one clip to the next instead of just cutting at the shooting animations where it just looks like I have infinite ammo and it looks kind of weird. It doesn't have a natural flow to it. So using the reload animation as a reference point between the two clips, it's going to have a seamless transition and you're going to end up with something like this. Alright, so now that we have that one down, and since we're not always going to be using the same weapon all the time, and each weapon has different reload animations, or sometimes you just don't even reload during the clip, another way I like to make transitions for videos is that I use things that are in my surroundings that I can find a way to tie into as a reference point. And in that reference point I make the cut there, so if I just finish a fight, for example, and I'm rotating to the next area, things like the climbing animation on ledges can be very good for transition, or using vertical zip lines also help. You can even go as far as using doors to go from one clip to the next, though doors can be pretty tricky if you're entering from different angles, so it's not always going to look seamless, but if it's all you have in your clip, using that is still better than using a random cut in my opinion. So if you find a way to use these tricks as a reference point, you're going to end up with something like this, for example. So we got the reload animation and we got the surroundings like the doors and the zip lines. Another trick I want to show you for when the other two just aren't possible, because you know that every game in Apex is different and you can't always find a way to tie everything together, is to use motion to go from one clip to the next. So when everything else fails, you can always just use quick movement that happens in the game, like a fast turn or a slide jump, to tie the two clips together. Keep in mind that 100% smooth won't always be possible, but there's still a lot you can do to make going from one clip to the next as least shocking for the viewer as possible. And there's tons of elements you can use around you to experiment with and have fun with in editing. So after we take all these tips and put them all together, a final clip of throwing everything into the mix would look a little something like this. Alright guys, I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you did, and also let me know if you have any editing tricks of your own. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.